Oh, what's with the huge tower? Oh, that's my, watchtower. Lookout tower. Basically, I can climb up to the top of there and see everything within, like, the range of my base. At least, that is the, plan. And as soon as I get an elytra, it'll be, the tower I jump off of to, just fly around. Like, it's kind of just there for decoration right now, and let's, get my new nether brick. Oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful supply of nether brick. So beautiful. Alright, nether bricks. There we go. That's another, 2 stacks, and I'll just go ahead and put that right there. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I like nether brick because of how it looks. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these in here. Because I need a large supply of charcoal for my future operations. Oh. There we go. And this way I can just save time and use charcoal instead of iron. I mean actual coal. Coal is for making coal blocks. Alright, so let's get myself about a couple of iron axes here. All I need is 4 of them. So we're gonna be doing some cleaning up around here. Because I've sort of gotten enough of every kind of wood, except for, like, the wood that comes from the nether, to say that I'm in a good spot. And let's check on my automatic sugarcane farm here. That's doing alright. Not great, but it's doing alright. Alright, so, before I do anything, there is, like, this one block up here that is just floating, like, right above that. And I need to get that. So let's, hop on up here and grab that. And I have to punch my way through this because, if I use my axe, it'll just break the tree. Alright, this is taking a lot longer than it should. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright, let's just use the axe and... There we go. Whoops! Didn't mean to do that. Alright. So the question is, can I make it up here? Yes. And I am not tall enough. There we go. Oh, I think what they're doing with the starters is there's probably, in Pokemon Legends, is there's probably, like, some sort of lore reason that they gave those specific Pokemon. Like, I can't think of, like, an actual reason why. So maybe the, Sinnoh region was just settled by a ton of foreigners that just happened to frequently have those. Either that, or it's gonna be like either that, or it's gonna be a situation like, yeah, like a professor just brought them with him. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, this is frustrating. But, I am just gonna choose whatever water type starter there is. Like, what was the starters for Pokemon Legends? Let me see here. Oh yeah, Oshawott. Oh, but there's also a Cyndaquil. Oh, that's a hard choice. I'm probably gonna have to go with Cyndaquil, because that's my OG from Johto. Oshawott's good and all, but he's not as good as Cyndaquil. Yeah, if I don't cut into these with, like, a full, thing, it's not gonna chop them all down. But, I'm doing good on obtaining wood here. Getting lots of cleaning up done around here. And I'm going to finish this house soon. Because I have left this house to languish for quite a while, and it kind of needs to actually be addressed. And where are my apples? Ah, there we go. You're picking Cyndaquil? I approve of the choice. Cyndaquil is a good choice. Well, broke that. There we go. But I'm going to have to go through, after I clean this up, and put a ton of jack-o'-lanterns down, wherever there's torches. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep. And then I will just run up and, store my stuff. But, I haven't been playing a lot of Pokemon. I'm mainly when I'm playing Pokemon, I'm just raising, like, level 100 raid Pokemon, and occasionally trying to complete the National Pokedex in Pokemon Home. But I wonder whether they're gonna add a transfer system to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Because that's something that comes to mind, is how are they gonna handle transferring Pokemon? Because I'm not sure whether they're actually gonna include, like, every single Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl. Oh yeah, I was, like, on my 4th or 5th playthrough, and I'm on, like, my 6th playthrough. Because once you get to a certain point, you can only just play through it for so many once you get to a certain point, all you can really do is just keep playing through the game. Alright, let's deposit these. My wood supply. And honestly, you get to a point where it's like, what else is there to do? I mean, other than just, like, competitive battling. Like, eventually at some point you gotta be like, you know what, I need something else to do other than, like, just battling. And I'm playing Minecraft, like, on a regular basis now, so I hope there's online battles, because online battles in Legends would actually be pretty interesting, just because of the way it looks. Yeah, battling looks cool. I mean, I've seen some people gripe about the graphics, but I'm at a point where I'm like, it's on the Nintendo Switch. They can only do so much with the Switch's hardware, and it looks great. Like, as is. They don't need to, like, make it any better. Alright, okay, we can leave those be for now. Alright, so, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, get a large number of, jack-o'-lanterns. But, it looks like the battling system is probably just gonna be, the same. It's just gonna look different. Alright, I'm just gonna let this despawn. Yeah, it's got like a year of development left. Like, there's a lot they can accomplish in like a single year. Alright, so what was I gonna get? Oh yeah, I was gonna get jack-o'-lanterns. Like, it's still an alpha, and I think it looks amazing already. Like, maybe they'll do something like Pokemon Coliseum, where they'll have, a number of different, like, battle domes or something. Like, that would be cool. Like, I liked Pokemon Coliseum, and I would like to play more Pokemon Coliseum, actually. Alright, so let's, find myself my, jack-o'-lanterns. Which chest did I put them in? Ah, here it is. It's literally, like, the last chest I look in. Alright, so let's go ahead and do, something I've been meaning to do, and that's, get a ton of jack-o'-lanterns. I actually have to start putting in effort to, collect these. There we go. But Pokemon Coliseum was difficult back in the day. And I remember it being one of the most difficult Pokemon games I have ever played. Because you had such a small, limited selection of Pokemon, and you were always at a disadvantage. Like, it does feel like it's been a long time since they announced Sword and Shield and the DLCs. And I still need to play through the second DLC a number of different times. But, like, when the second DLC came out, it came out at such a poor time for me, because I was writing, like, my final papers for college. Because I graduated, like, 2 months ago from college. And now I'm kind of on the job hunt. But it feels like forever ago since they announced that and released the DLCs. But I don't think they're gonna do DLC for Diamond and Pearl. They would get so much hate for that. Like, Nintendo would get so much hate for doing DLC. Oh yeah, like, I'm very happy I finally graduated. Like, it was a long time coming, really. Alright, let's, just get rid of this, like, little island here. There's no reason for me to have this here. But I'm glad I finally graduated, because another semester of, just driving to class and being the only one there would be unbearable. Because, that last semester, a ton of people dropped out of college, which is kind of obvious, because a lot of people really didn't like the idea of doing online classes, and I don't blame them. but a lot of people also lost their jobs, so yeah, and considering the school I went to, a lot of people worked and did college at the same time, it wasn't really practical for them to go to class. Alright, let's clear off this mountaintop here. But Pokemon is definitely something I'm gonna get back into playing on a regular basis. At least that is my plan. Because I'm at a point where I'm running out of things to do, and I can't really justify buying any new video games. So just Minecraft and Pokemon and like all the games I haven't finished are kind of on my to-do list to play through. Because there's a ton of games I haven't finished for one reason or another. And I do plan on getting through them. But I'm also saving up to get like a second Nintendo Switch so I can have like one version, so I can play through like both versions and just skip through the annoying like version exclusive problems. So that will be a thing. But right now money is really tight. Yeah, when I play through Diamond and Pearl, I'm only gonna play through it using exclusively Sinnoh Pokemon, because that's the way it was really meant to be played. Like Diamond and Pearl was meant to be played using exclusively Sinnoh Pokemon, and I always had the feeling that when I played Diamond and Pearl, that that really the Pokemon from like other games were really just added in as like an afterthought when they realized, oh hey, we don't have enough Pokemon to have like 150 in the mainline game. Like it certainly did feel like that when I was younger. Alright, let's go ahead and make sure I have like adequate lighting everywhere. Because one of the things I'm doing in this game is I'm gonna be creating a passive mob farm, which requires everywhere around my base to be lit up. Because this base will essentially be like, oh hey, I come here and I can just farm like a ton of reproducible supplies. But I'm gonna need to offload all of this dirt. Oh yeah, like, Diamond and Pearl suffered from some really strange installment weirdness. Like the whole Fire-type Elite Four member and Electric Gym barely having any of their Pokemon type. Like, I think that was just entirely poor planning on Nintendo's part. Like, there should have been more fire types. Like, that was just very poor planning on Nintendo's part. Regardless of what people say, it was very poor planning on Nintendo's part to only have, like, 2 fire types and only make 1 catchable in the wild. Like, I want to know who signed off on that. Because that sounds like a pretty blatant error, if you ask me. Like, who approved this nonsense? Only having 2 fire types? At least in Platinum, they had the common sense to fix the problem. Because Platinum literally fixed everything that was wrong with Diamond and Pearl that was fixable. I mean, sure, there were certainly things that Nintendo couldn't do anything about because, well, you can only do so much with a game that's already pretty much set in stone. But one of the things I did like about Diamond and Pearl is it actually had things to do after you beat the game, which was nice. And you didn't have to jump through like a billion hoops to catch all the legendaries. So I hope they don't add like anything too ridiculous. I mean, they've probably modified the story in Diamond and Pearl a bit, but not by that much. Oh yeah, at least the post game in Sword and Shield actually had you do stuff. It's not like X and Y where you pretty much just had to run around and collect Zygarde parts. But it still didn't have a lot to do. But once they added the DLCs, there were at least things to do, and there were community events, and there's community events in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I guess the multiplayer aspect of Sword and Shield was definitely improved upon over the X and Y multiplayer. But I kind of get the feeling that Nintendo was very limited. Oh yeah, they didn't even talk about Pokemon Unite. I forgot about Pokemon Unite. Like, I will try Pokemon Unite, and if I don't like it, I'm just not gonna touch it. Like, Pokemon Unite is definitely something I think Nintendo decided, you know what, we're gonna maybe step away from, like, actively mentioning it and hope it dies. Like, that may end up being a thing. And I hope it's not a thing like that, but you never know. Yeah, they're just gonna wing it. Sounds about right. Because they got so much crap for initially even suggesting Pokemon Unite. And I get why they did that. Because, it was kind of... Honestly, the idea of Pokemon Unite is a good idea. The problem is when they suggested Pokemon Unite, they wanted, like, an actual Pokemon game. With, like, catching and battling and whatnot. Which, obviously, Pokemon Unite doesn't really have the whole catching and collecting and any sort of new Pokemon. Which was very much a sore point for a lot of people. But I would look forward to at least trying Pokemon Unite before I give it any sort of final judgment. Splatoon 3? I mean, to be fair, Splatoon is a very popular game for the people who played it. That being said, I never played Splatoon because when Splatoon came out, it came out at a very poor time for me. And it's never been a good time for me to get into it. Like that's my biggest problem with, like, a lot of video games, actually, is they come out at, like, a very poor time for me. Alright, let's, try and just fill in where I can with these jack-o'-lanterns. Oh yeah, like, it's a big problem when I am, like, trying to get into video games, and, like, they release on, like, days where it's like, oh, hey, I'm not gonna have time to play it, and then I never get around to playing it. It's like, I'd love to play some of these games, but they come out at times when it's just not convenient for people. Alright, anywhere there's a torch, I am just going to put down a jack-o'-lantern. Because I am going to need to go through here and collect all of the torches. Because I'm clearing out this area for future projects. But I'm not really sure, like, what my future is gonna be like. Oh yeah, a lot of people were actually really excited for Generation 4, Gen 4 remakes. Now, I wouldn't mind, like, let's go Pokemon Johto. Because that would be something I would like. Like, even if a lot of people would hate the idea of Pokemon Let's Go Johto, I think it would be at least a good idea to introduce Pokemon Let's Go Johto, because that would definitely at least sell. And Let's Go Johto would be very easy for Nintendo to produce. Because I will point out that there is a large chunk of people who have not played the older Pokemon games that would love to play them. And Nintendo knows this, which is why obviously why they remade Diamond and Pearl, but they're very slow about remaking the games because they know that if they remake them all too quickly, they're not going to get a lot of money out of the people they want to make. I mean, the graphics are going to be a point of contention for literally everyone, because I like the graphics, but I will acknowledge that I am very surprised that they did not make it like a full 3D game. But I'm very aware that they also would get criticism no matter what they do in terms of the graphics. Like, I believe that no matter what Nintendo does, they will be criticized for not updating the graphics. So instead, I think it was a smart choice for them to not outright upgrade the graphics, but instead to make it in a style of the original game. At least from a marketing perspective. Would I have liked to see a version of Diamond and Pearl with like overworld 3D graphics? Oh yes, definitely. I would love to see that. But I do acknowledge the fact that Nintendo was not, like, directly involved with the graphical design of the Diamond and Pearl remake. Which is why I'm cutting Nintendo quite a bit of slack on the graphics. So, my opinion on Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is it's gonna be a very hyped up release. Like, we know what we're getting, and we know what we're gonna do, and we're just gonna have fun. Like, that is all people really need to know about Diamond and Pearl, is that we know what we're gonna be doing with it, and we know what we're getting into. There's no reason to be mad about anything they really include. Now, what people would really be mad about is if they changed up the story of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Like, a lot of people really liked the story in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I like the story from Diamond and Pearl. I would be annoyed if they changed it. Oh, yeah. Like, it's just like with Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. The community is going to be very divided as to whether they like it or hate it. Now, I think a good chunk of the community is going to like it. Because I think that by playing off the whole, like, oh, hey, it's a remake, and we're not going to add anything new or fancy, we're just going to give you guys what you want, I think Nintendo has scored a lot of bonus points there. At least with their community. Now, of course, there's still going to be people who are like, oh, but it doesn't have, like, this. Yeah, there's going to be people who are going to criticize the game no matter what. So I'm a hold off on, like, my full and complete judgment of Diamond and Pearl until I actually get my hands on it. But so far, I think that it's probably going to be the best Pokemon release to date since the Nintendo Switch came out. At least in terms of sales. You're a bit late to get on. You're a bit late to play a Kalos game because it's hard to find a 3DS right now. Trust me, I've tried. Like, I cannot for the life of me manage to find a Nintendo 3DS anywhere. Except, like, on eBay or Amazon. But I'm lucky enough that I have, like, a copy of, like, all the 3DS games. Because I've went out of my way to get copies of the 3DS games, because I tried getting my hands on all of the Pokemon DS games. Just to see if I could. And my actual issue... Oh, yeah. Kalos came out in my, like... I believe it was, like, my junior year, or... Oh, let me look up when Pokemon X and Y came out. Hold on. Pokemon X and Y. Okay, it came out in 2013, so it came out in my sophomore year of high school. So my second year of high school. And I didn't get myself a 3DS until I was in college. Well, a 2DS until I was in college. So, I didn't get to play Pokemon X and Y until after its time. Like, I got Pokemon Omega Ruby before I got X and Y. So... yeah, that was a thing for me. But I didn't have money until I was in college, so that was a thing too. Bear in mind. Because a good problem with a lot of video games is I don't buy video games unless I have money to spend, and I'm trying to save my money. Oh yeah, you were pretty young when X and Y came out. But I will say that I enjoyed X and Y for its story and its music, but it wasn't exactly like the best Pokemon game out there. Was it good? Oh yeah, it was definitely good. Like, it's hard for Pokemon to make a really bad game. Like, even Sword and Shield, for like all of its faults, isn't necessarily terrible. Now, could they have done better with Sword and Shield? Oh yeah, they definitely could have done better with Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, it was a lot easier than previous games, but there was a lot of stuff added because around the time X and Y came out, it had been a good, almost a good 20 years since Pokemon came out. Now, the thing is Pokemon was getting to a point where it was getting time for a new generation of players. Because at some point, there's a bit of a generation change where the next generation sort of becomes the predominant game player and the rest go to work. So it becomes an issue of like, oh hey, they sort of like decided to change things up pretty drastically. Which wasn't bad. Now, some people disagree with me, but at the time Pokemon X and Y came out, it was time for a change. And the easiest way to implement a change was to change the leveling system, which is what they did. They changed it so that's not exactly how it worked, but it did feel like that for some people. But there is a point where, it was just easier for them to completely change the leveling system, and I am not gonna have enough carved pumpkins for my project, but that's fine. What they did is they changed the leveling system. Now, I don't have any gripes about that, because, one, it made getting through the game a lot quicker, which was nice, because, sometimes you really just want to get through the game, but other times it's like, no, you're gonna want to take your time. But I, for one, was of the opinion that making the leveling system for your Pokemon easier saved a lot of time. You didn't have to, like, constantly grind specific Pokemon to have a good time. It also made, like, running through the game repeatedly much quicker. Because one of the things Sword and Shield does really well is you can run through the game really quickly if you know what you're doing. My thing is I just like to take time. And Pokemon Sun and Moon definitely brought a lot of interesting changes. I wouldn't say Sun and Moon was amazing, but it certainly was fun my first couple times playing through it. That being said, I am still playing through Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because I only recently managed to get my hands on a copy of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Because when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, I was in between jobs. And I'm like, oh, I'll get this eventually. And as it turns out, no, I did not eventually get it until, like, years later when I saw it, like, for 20 bucks in a used store. So, yeah. But shiny hunting in a lot of games has gotten really easy. And if I really wanted to shiny hunt in Pokemon, like, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, I could easily do so. My main thing is like, I just don't want to devote that much time to it when I have other things I need to be doing with my time, or other things I want to do, like, play Minecraft, or level up Pokemon, or many other things. Because as an adult who spends most of his day working in a school, I kind of have to pick and choose what I'm going to do with my time. Which really means just knowing what I want to do with my time and being smart about it. Which, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, it's a very short game, if you know what you're doing. Because, I played through Pokemon Diamond and Pearl at least, I'd say a good 5 or 6 times. And you can get it done within 24 hours. Easily. Now, that being said, do you want to get it done within 24 hours? That is the question. Because, I'm not sure whether I'm gonna, like, jump straight into finishing, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl when I get it or not. Or if I'm gonna take my time. Because if I take my time, that's a lot less stress. But at the same time, I'm under constant pressure to, like, get things done and out of the way, like, as soon as possible. Yeah, but, basically, what I'm doing here is I'm pretty much just filling in, like, a ton of places that probably need lighting, and then at night I'll just run around and fill in what else needs to be filled in. And the system will just work. It'll be like anything Todd Howard creates, it just works. But Diamond and Pearl is gonna be a very, very nostalgic experience for me. Because Diamond and Pearl came out when I was in elementary school, like at the very end of elementary school. And that was kind of when all my friends moved away. So, well, all my childhood friends moved away. So, Diamond and Pearl was really my big thing. So, I'm very hyped for its release. But just to clarify, I am full team Empoleon. Empoleon is the way to go. Empoleon is my, warrior of choice. Oh yeah, like that's another thing, is amusingly, Empoleon is weak to both ground and fighting. It's like they wanted Empoleon to be at a distinct disadvantage. It's like, they probably saw Swampert and they're like, well, we made Swampert too OP in the previous game, so we need to nerf the water starter. Let's make him weak to the other starter's secondary typing. But I will clarify that if you give Empoleon Ice Beam, it can one-shot Torterra very easily. Like, I will point out that Torterra has, like, this astronomical weakness to Ice-type Pokemon. Because, for whatever reason, Nintendo decided... Yeah, what were they thinking when they did 3, firefighting starters in a row? Like, that's just poor form right there. Although, to be fair, at least this most recent fire starter Score Bunny, they at least had the sense to just make him like a regular fire type. Because having a regular fire type was actually a very interesting change. And now I'm down to 57 of my jack-o'-lanterns here. Yeah, the second pure fire starter since Typhlosion. I like Typhlosion. Typhlosion was good. Like, Typhlosion has a very special place in my heart as my, Johto starter. Because, for some reason, of the Johto starters... Oh, I should do a stream of tier lists? I don't know, man. Tier lists can be pretty harsh. Blastoise is my personal favorite because he was my first Pokemon. Gotta have special room in your heart for your first Pokemon. Yes, my favorite Pokemon is also Blastoise. He has been my go-to choice of water type for years now. Alright. There we go. Beat that guy up. Like, I'm more inclined to favor Blastoise over any other water type just because of how much I've used it. Yeah. Like, a lot of people actually share a lot of similar opinions on Pokemon. Now, that being said, there are a lot of Pokemon that I am just not really inclined to use. Like, I like the Johto starters, in how they look, but the Johto starters, are probably the worst performing starters outside of, Sword and Shield starters. I have very specific gripes about Sword and Shield starter Pokemon. Mainly the fact that their move pools are just so limited. And, the Johto starters, share that same issue. Like, a lot of, starter Pokemon have this issue. Mega Charizard's actually pretty good. Oi! Who's throwing tridents at me? Ow! Alright, give me a trident. Give me your trident. No trident. Darn. Oh, I am being attacked from behind. Okay. Like, I am just trying to be a good Minecrafter and light up my surrounding area, and these guys just keep attacking me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, why is everyone in this world so aggressive? Like, what did I do? Not pay my homeowners association fees? Oi. Gentlemen, please get off my land. Alright, so let's head on up into my tower. Because once I run out of carved pumpkins, I'm gonna take a break from lighting up my area. Because I've mostly lit up the surrounding areas around here. Oh, some homeowners associations don't have, like, fees, but a lot of the ones in my local area do, which is kind of why I haven't actually moved out, because the homeowners association fees are pretty expensive. But before I go ahead and light up more stuff, let's go ahead and grab myself 2 more stacks of pumpkins. Yeah, I am, like, running low on everything. Speaking of which, let's head on up to my smelter. Look at all this charcoal. Beautiful. Charcoal is very nice to have for a lot of my projects. Oh. Oh, history classes are very easy if you actually read the material. Like the issue with history classes is I have a minor in history, which means I took a lot of history classes in college, as a way to pad out my elective courses. So essentially, I took a ton of optional history classes, but history is really easy, provided you are willing to actually read the books. Because the biggest problem with history classes is no one wants to read the material they're given. Like, that is the big problem. Alright. So I still got a couple areas to light up over there, but I'm mostly in the clear on that section of the map. Alright, Geronimo. So I'm gonna have to hold off on lighting up the rest of the area I was lighting up, because I need to light up this area here. Because I'm having issues with monsters spawning over here. And considering this is so close to my house, it's kind of a problem. So let's clear this out, and then I will be satisfied. And I'm gonna have to do some cleaning up here as well, because I have a lot of stuff just randomly placed around that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But World War II is World War I and World War II are very interesting subjects, because it's a subject that's been very well documented. And that's not something you see very often in history. Because the hardest historical subjects to study are the ones that are not well documented. Because the less documentation there is about something, the harder it is to study it. Because the hardest history classes I ever took were the Roman... The hardest two history classes I ever took was, oh yeah. The hardest history class I ever took was not technically a history class, but it was taught in the style of a history class, called The History of the English Language. Now, you would think, like, oh, hey, that should be easy. It's just a class about people talking about English. Wrong. Very wrong. Oh, so wrong. And I am trying to hit this guy, but he keeps moving. Because the issue is the English, up until like 1500, did not write stuff down. And that's a problem. Because imagine trying to figure out what happened 1,000 years ago, and like all written records, just proof, gone. Because everything was written either in Latin or French, and stuff was destroyed. There wasn't like a written version of English until way later on. And the spoken version of English, Old English, is drastically different than what people think. It's actually terrible. It's actually terrible to experience and study. Like, the class is very interesting, but it was definitely the most difficult history style class I had ever taken. And also, the exams in that class were super hard. Think all written exams where you had to write, like, at least 3 paragraphs per subject. And, you were expected to pretty much, have memorized everything. It was a very heavy memorization-focused class. Suffice to say, most people did not get above a C in that class. I managed to get a C+, so I was perfectly content with what I got. And I was one of the few people in the class the professor knew who wasn't cheating. Because there was definitely a lot of people who cheated in that class, and the professor was very aware of it. Oh yeah, like never. It's hard to enjoy a trip when your parents are with you, because your parents will be very strict about things. Like, the best trip I've ever been on was when I went to Greece and Italy, and it was a group trip, and it was by myself, with, like, a couple, people I knew from school. But I'm not a big fan of field trips in general. Field trips are a major hassle to deal with for a lot of teachers. Like there's a pretty good reason why once you get to high school there's not a lot of field trips. It's mainly because it gets harder and harder to coordinate them, and believe it or not, elementary school kids are a lot easier to coordinate than a ton of high schoolers. Because high school kids are capable of causing way more trouble than people would think. Oh, then they make you take notes. Oh, that's another thing, is they make you take notes in high school. Can't get out of doing that. So that's a thing. Alright, let's go ahead and light up the area around here that I need to light up. So, once I finish placing, like, these 50 pumpkins down, well, however many of these I need to, place down, what I'll probably end up doing is I will probably, figure out what I'm gonna do next. Because I need to, harvest a large amount of, pumpkins and whatnot. But, high school field trips sucked, because, any high school field trip you went on, you had to, write a report on. And no high school kid is gonna take notes, when they're on a field trip. Like, no, they're not gonna do that. You're asking them to be responsible. Like, they're at an age where it's like, oh, no, they're not gonna do anything unless they benefit from it. And they're not gonna take notes. No way. That would be way too smart. But speaking of which, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Yeah, this is my automatic melon farm. It's great. And this is my automatic pumpkin farm. It's also great. Unfortunately, because of the way it's designed, I can't get jack-o'-lanterns from them. Well, here's the thing, is I primarily work with high schoolers, so I see all the stupid things they do on a regular basis. Now, that's not to say high schoolers are dumb. High schoolers can be really smart when they want to be. It's just, a lot of the time, they don't have any sort of motivation to do anything. Which is kind of a problem. Oh well, okay. So I've cleaned up that area. It's alright, man. Alright, so now I need to, get some, stuff down here. Alright, let's, break these here. Make sure to get these placed down. Alright. And there we go. Sufficiently lit up. Nice. Alright, let's just go ahead and put this here and make myself some melon blocks. Can't really do much with these, but might as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and sleep. Alright, so I'm probably gonna have to go back to daily harvesting these pumpkins, because I haven't been doing that. But let's go ahead and start getting around to actually putting these jack-o'-lanterns down. And let's clear off this pile of dirt here. And we'll fill in what we can fill in, but we'll just continue placing jack-o'-lanterns down where I can. And try to get them close enough together, but not too close. Because the end goal is to pretty much just have this entire area over here be spawn-free of any monsters. But we're gonna try and level things out here. So everything over here kind of just doesn't exist. But we're gonna have to stop digging and repair my stuff. Because all of my stuff is breaking. And I guarantee if I go try and harvest all of the pumpkins I need, my diamond axe is gonna break. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and deposit all of my stuff, and we'll call it quits for lighting up our area tonight. But before I do anything, let's go ahead and actually get this set up here. Because this is something that's been bugging me for a while. Just not having this set up. Alright, so next order of business, we're gonna need to stockpile a good chunk of materials for one of my future projects. Now, I have quite a lot of bone meal for what we're gonna be doing next.